Alright, what's going on, boys? It's your boy Moss and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys the 7 laws of self-improvement that I not only have been following for the last 3 years, but some that I've recently started to incorporate just recently. And I've been noticing a great difference in my life and has been slowly changing my life for the better. But without further ado, because I know you guys' fucking attention spans are fucking fried, you probably stopped watching at this point. For those of you that are continuing to watch, I'm gonna go ahead and dive straight into it. The first law that I follow, and yes, if you're wondering what I'm looking down at, I'm looking down at my phone because I have some notes written down. But the first law of self-improvement that I follow is to get out of your own way. And the reason why I'm saying this is because with myself and just people in general, a lot of the times when it comes to us having a hard time reaching a goal or living a certain life or us trying to change our lives, we oftentimes are the ones that actually prevent ourselves from seeing the change that we want to see in our own lives because of how our mindsets are and the mindset that we might have been ingrained with when we were growing up, and depending on your environment, how you were raised by your parents, all that kind of stuff. And one thing I have noticed, for an example, when it comes to me getting in my own way, is when it comes to the financial aspect and trying to build some sort of financial abundance. Because growing up, I was constantly told to save, 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 and not spend. And as a byproduct of that, I started to realize just recently that I've become very, very cheap and like penny pinching like. And obviously, as we all know, to develop some sort of financial abundance, you can't constantly be in a state of mind of penny pinching, because like a lot of people say, you got to spend money to make money. And so one thing that I'm slowly trying to teach myself in the financial way is to not be afraid to spend money, whether it's me investing in myself, whether it's me going out on a date, whether it's me going out with my friends for lunch or dinner or doing something of that some sort. I'm trying to teach myself to get out of my own way mentally and build that financial abundance before I even have it, because what you think about, you bring about. The second law of self-improvement that I follow, and this is a big one that has probably made one of the biggest contributions to my life, is to constantly seek new experiences. The reason why is because new experiences are not only going to help expand your mind and see what's out there and help see the possibilities of the life that you could potentially live, but you are going to learn so much about yourself and about the world. And then especially when it comes to you on, let's say, a date or in a social setting, you constantly seeking out new experiences is going to help you curate stories for that when it comes time for you to want to potentially share a story with a woman that you're dating, or to just essentially be more of an interesting person that people want to get to know. You have stories to share. And so if you haven't already, and you notice that your life has been very, very mundane, but more importantly, you notice that you're not seeing the changes that you want to see in your life, start by seeking new experiences. And it doesn't have to be crazy. It could be something fucking small, as if, for example, if you're somebody that constantly stays in the house, go try out a coffee shop that you've always been wanting to go to, or go to this beach that you've always wanted to visit, or go to this city or this country, or whatever the case may be. But never stop trying to seek new experiences, because it's going to make you a very, very interesting person that people actually want to get to know. The third law of self-improvement, and this is one that I constantly have a hard time wrestling with, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate, but that is putting your purpose over temporary pleasure. And the reason why is because if you're somebody that has constantly indulged in some sort of pleasure, or you have some sort of vices, you know that by the end of you being done indulging in said pleasure, that is only temporary. Like, for example, if you are drinking and you get drunk, not only do you wake up worse, but you notice that that good feeling you get being drunk, it was only fucking temporary, bro. Like, nothing's changed. You're still gonna have the same sort of problems that you've been putting off, and you're still gonna be in the terrible state of mind that you've always been in. The only thing that drinking did was it helped temporarily take you out of that state of stress or constant anxiety or depression just for a few minutes or for a few hours. So instead, what you want to go ahead and do, start by putting your purpose first. Whether it's, you discovered that you want to help people, you want to build a business, you want to build a product, start by putting that first. Because one thing that I've noticed with myself is ever since I started to put my self-development first, developing my mind, my body, my spirit, and trying to build my bank account, I'm starting to become much more of a fulfilled person. But if you're somebody that hasn't necessarily discovered their purpose, because me personally, I feel like I haven't necessarily discovered my true purpose. Maybe I might have purpose right now, but it could always change. Start by trying things out. Try a bunch of different things. Like, whatever sparks your curiosity or interest, try it out. And don't get frustrated if that so-called purpose that you land upon doesn't necessarily work out, because just you simply being in the process of you trying to discover your purpose is purpose in itself. And you'll notice at some point along the journey, despite the frustrations and stuff not clicking, that you're going to feel much more fulfilled, because you decided to start not only working on yourself, but you're starting to figure out, okay, what do I want for my life? And what is the meaning and the purpose of me being on this planet? And you'll notice over time with you doing that a lot of the temporary pleasures you once indulged in, they're not as satisfying as you either discovering or living or putting your purpose first. Law number 4 of self-improvement. And this, I believe, is very, very crucial, especially with the fact that we live in the information age. And that is to focus on taking imperfect action over perfectly trying to plan something before taking action. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of the times, most of us, we suffer from not only anxiety, but overthinking and what I would call to be analysis paralysis, where when you're first trying to figure out what exactly it is that you want to do, or maybe you already have an idea of what you want to do, you start doing a whole lot of research on it, trying to formulate a perfect plan, only for you to get frustrated and find out that the reason why you're not making any fucking progress is because you haven't fucking started, bro. Like, you haven't turned on the camera and pressed record. You didn't drop that song. You didn't launch that product. You didn't decide to trade that stock. All you decided to do was try to research the best video to make, or figure out what song to drop, or whatever the case may be. You were so focused on trying to curate the perfect plan to start that you never even fucking started. And then eventually, if you do decide to start, with you starting, after some time passes, you'll come to find out that the whole time you didn't need to have the right things or be the right person. You just simply needed to take action, because everybody that you look up to, they once started with less equipment, with less money, with less knowledge. But what they decided to do was they decided to simply fucking start. And I'm sure you guys can see, if you've been following me for a while, like, I'm not perfect when it comes to speaking in front of this fucking camera, despite dropping dozens and dozens of videos. But the reason why I continuously am slowly growing and getting better is because I refuse to let the lack of lighting or perfect equipment or me not being the best speaker hold me back. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking set up the camera and click record and take fucking action, instead of trying to focus on continuously formulating a plan that's not going to bring me any fucking result. So start focusing on taking imperfect action and stop focusing on trying to come up with a perfect plan. Law number 5 of self-improvement, and this is another one that has drastically changed my life. You want to always, when you leave your house, dress to impress. The reason why I'm saying that is because your presentation is your reputation. How people perceive you is ultimately how people are going to treat you. And only reason I'm able to say this, bro, is because if you guys have watched my videos for a couple of years, or you're one of my boys watching this, you know I am not the same man that I physically once was on the outside. I've come a long fucking way when it comes to changing my entire physicality. And as a result of that, I've noticed people have respected me a lot more. People actually want to get to know me and talk to me. Women find me much more fucking attractive. And opportunities are slowly starting to find their way to me. And especially with us living in the social media era where you constantly see people at their best and their highlight reels, it's like you almost have to try and be at your best, or at least try to present your best self whenever you post yourself online or whenever you step out of the house. And this isn't me saying that you need to present yourself to try and impress other people. No. You want to start looking at the state of mind of like, I want to attract more opportunities. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of creators say it, but with you trying to blow up online, if that is what you want to do, or with you trying to get into certain rooms, sometimes you gotta look the part before you fucking even get the part. So if you haven't already, start dressing to impress whenever you leave the fucking house, okay? Because you never know what person you might meet or what opportunity might come your fucking way. I need a fucking water break. Oh, I needed that. Law number 6, we got 2 hands now, is to think long term. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of the times we want things instantly. And you see maybe a lot of your favorite influencers or inspirations you follow blow up overnight, only for you to find out when you dive into their story that they've been at their craft for fucking years, day in and day out, month by month, year after year. But as a result of them doing that, just one day, all the dominoes fell perfectly and they just look like they blew up overnight. And so if you're in the trenches right now working on your craft, I need you to think long term, because a lot of people overestimate what they can achieve in a year and underestimate what they can achieve in a decade. That's one of my favorite quotes by Tony Robbins that I've heard a couple of years ago, because growing up, especially with me growing up with social media, I've always constantly put this pressure on myself to try and change my life by fucking tomorrow. Like I have to have a fucking $1 million and my parents retired and drive a bunch of fucking supercars by tomorrow. Only for me to realize that that's not how you achieve success. How you achieve success is by having a vision and a plan, but also following the plan for an extended period of time. And not only that, but trust the fucking timing of your life, bro. Everybody's timing is different. Like you've seen so many artists and influencers come and fucking go. And maybe one day you will be one of those people that's gonna come and that's gonna go. Everybody has a shelf life. And so if things haven't happened for you yet, maybe it's just not your time right now. And you just got to keep at it with whatever it is you're trying to do and keep thinking long term. The last and final law of self-improvement that I have been following, which is law number 7, that is to stay consistent even through the rough patches. That is where the winners are going to be separated from the fucking losers. And that is the one thing that I have been learning recently. with me trying to post as much onto YouTube as I possibly can. As you guys can see, if you guys have been following me and a bunch of different creators, I am probably growing at a much slower pace than some other up-and-coming creators. And as much as it frustrates me, I realized that I can't let that stop me from being consistent. Because we all know in this world, consistency is the name of the game. And sometimes it's not even about working harder or being better than your competition. Sometimes it's just about outlasting your competition. Because I remember when I started this YouTube channel like 6-7 years ago, and I managed to catch the eyes of like some slightly bigger creators with like 2K, 3K, 5K, 10K subs, and we subscribed to each other and we supported each other. I go back to their channels now because I'm still subscribed to them. They haven't posted in 1, 2, maybe even 3 years. They just like fell off the fucking face of the planet. But here I am still trying to post. And mind you, those last 6 years, I have not been consistent. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been on and off. I'll post consistently for like 6 months to a year, then I'll fall off for another 6 months to a year. But I would say in the last almost 2 years, I have been the most consistent that I have ever been. And I'm trying my very best to stay as consistent as possible. Because I know that if I continue to stay consistent, that there is gonna come a day where this channel is going to absolutely blow the fuck up. And I'm gonna look back and be like, you know what? I'm glad I stayed consistent. And so if you're somebody out there that's watching this video and you notice that your videos aren't popping off, your music isn't being streamed that much, your product isn't getting that many sales, just keep at it, bro. Keep posting, keep dropping, keep trying to figure out which product to sell. Constantly go at your craft, but more importantly, stay consistent even through the hard times, because that's where the winners are going to be separated from the losers. And obviously, as we all know, I'm pretty sure you want to come out as a fucking winner. And not only should you stay consistent through the rough patches, but with you doing that, you'll realize why most people in this life don't ultimately get the one thing that they want out of their life. And that is because they didn't stay consistent through the rough patches, because that is where most people quit. Anyways, that's the 7 laws that I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys today, and I genuinely believe every man should follow. And these are the laws that have genuinely been changing my life. And I hope if you haven't been following any of these, or you've been following some of these, but you haven't been following others, I hope you could take at least 1, 2, a couple, or all of them, and you start applying it into your life. And if you've already been following some of these, let me know down in the comments below how things have been working out for you in your life. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace.